Duro Electric is committed to worker safety and health. We value our trade partner relationships and appreciate your efforts and contributions to the project. Although you're not a direct hire of Duro, we want you to feel empowered and have many of the same rights and responsibilities as our own employees. So please pay attention to the following rules and requirements set forth by the company, and welcome to the team.
Duro Electric is serious about safety. Our core values and pillars of success begin with a safety-first mindset. Safety first means pre-planning your work, assessing the situation, and identifying hazards. It means providing our workers with the right tools, equipment, and knowledge to do the job right and safe. A strong focus on safety also helps improve employee satisfaction and teamwork, building strong relationships with our customers and industry partners, and ultimately financial success. Our commitment to safety helps ensure that our projects run efficiently with a high focus on quality, ultimately leading to turning a profit. Duro Electric prides itself on leading with integrity and doing the right thing for our workers and our customers. Safety begins at the top. It is practiced, driven, and supported by the Duro Electric President, Jeremy Kuchera. He is committed to providing a safe work environment for our employees and providing the resources and materials to get the job done right. If you ever feel that you're put in an unsafe situation or are untrained for the job, feel free to exercise your right to stop work and reevaluate the situation. We extend the stop work authority to our temporary employees as you represent Duro while on the job, and your safety and health are important to us.
The Duro Safety Department has established a vision and a mission statement to give direction to the Duro safety efforts. The vision of the Duro Safety Department is to be an industry leader in safety and health, and to inspire and empower employees to make safety a priority in their lives and the lives of others. Duro's safety mission is to provide employees with the tools, materials, and knowledge to be successful and create a work environment that people want to be a part of.
Safety begins with you. You are responsible for understanding the rules and requirements and making good decisions based on your skills and knowledge. You are responsible for practicing good, safe work habits, as well as taking steps to protect your surroundings and other people. Nothing is so important that you should ever compromise safety for production or speed. Duro's Stop Work Authority means that you have the right and responsibility to stop work if you ever feel you're in an unsafe situation or are untrained for the job. If you need to stop work, notify your supervisor immediately and let them know what is going on. Together, you will reassess the situation and correct the issue. If you feel the situation has not been properly addressed or there are still safety concerns, contact the Duro Safety Manager. Duro expects you to know and abide by the rules and requirements of the company. It is also important to understand any additional requirements set forth by the general contractor on site. If you have any questions on what the specific rules for the project are, get with your supervisor. Every morning should begin with a group huddle to discuss the tasks for the day, conduct stretch and bends, and complete your pre-task assessments. It is important to plan your day by looking at the scope of work and identifying any potential hazards that may exist. How are you going to ensure your safety and get the work done in a safe and productive manner? What personal protective equipment will you need? What additional equipment may be involved? Don't forget to inspect your equipment before you use it. Notify your supervisor if you find any safety hazards or equipment damage. Duro expects you to show up on time, be present, and ready to work, and perform at your best. Safety is a mindset, so keep your head in the game and be aware of your surroundings. If you see a safety issue, bring it to the attention of your supervisor. Don't be afraid to address safety concerns with other employees who are putting themselves at risk. You could help prevent an accident or injury. If you are injured on the job, notify your supervisor immediately. Since you are not a Duro employee, you will need to get with your company representative to determine what clinics they have designated for workers' compensation. If the injury is serious and requires immediate medical treatment, you will be taken to the nearest hospital. Follow-up medical visits will be made at your company's designated medical provider. Follow your company's process for workplace injuries. As you are able, you and your supervisor will fill out the company-required accident reporting paperwork. When it comes to hazards on the job, there are many tasks that Duro performs which could cause injury or harm. OSHA places emphasis on the Focus 4 hazards, and those include falls, electrocution, struck by, and caught in or in between. They also stress the importance of employee training and exposure to workplace chemicals or HAZCOM. In the electrical trade, you may also be exposed to many other hazards. These hazards may include working on or around energized electrical systems, working from a ladder or at heights, working with hand and power tools, exposure to silica dust, lead, and asbestos, work performed on or around scaffolding, working around cranes or other large equipment, and exposure to sharp metal objects. While these hazards may be present in the workplace, Duro has taken steps to minimize your exposure to the hazard and will provide training, tools and equipment, or personal protective equipment to protect you. When it comes to your personal protection, Duro Electric or your company's representative will provide all the necessary PPE for the hazards identified on the job. Be sure to understand what hazards you will be exposed to and what equipment may be necessary. If you have any questions, check with your supervisor. Some examples of PPE include safety-rated eyewear. This includes impact-rated lenses and side shields for those workers with prescription glasses, or over-the-glasses safety eyewear is necessary. It could also include hard hats, cut-resistant hand protection, high-visibility safety vests or approved shirts, hearing protection, respiratory protection as needed, and fall protection equipment. Any additional protective equipment will be provided by Duro as needed for the hazard. When it comes to fall exposures, there are some basics you need to know. In construction, any fall exposure with 6 feet or more requires you to have a protective system in place. This could include guardrails or a personal fall arrest system. A personal fall arrest system includes a harness, an anchor point, and a means to attach yourself to the anchor. All anchors must support 5,000 pounds and can be only used by one person unless it's been designed otherwise. Guardrails are another form of fall protection for worker protection. There are 3 components to a guardrail: a top rail, a mid rail, and toe boards. Guardrails can be made from wood or wire rope. The top rail should be installed with a height of 42 inches and can have a variance of 3 inches either way. The mid rail should be installed in the middle of the top rail and the deck, and toe boards are necessary when people are working below so objects or materials do not fall on top of them. When working on a flat roof, OSHA requires workers to be protected from a fall. If the parapet wall meets the height requirement of a guardrail, you're okay. Otherwise, you may need to tie off. If there are no guardrails or appropriate parapet walls, all trades, except roofers, need to stay 15 feet away from the edge of the roof. Although there may be a warning line placed at 6 feet from the edge, Duro employees need to be protected at 15. If you're not sure what to do or where to tie off, contact your supervisor or the Duro safety manager. When it comes to working on a ladder, fall protection is not typically required. However, there are some exceptions to this rule. If the general contractor has a requirement to tie off on a ladder, we must comply with their rules. In addition, if you're working next to a leading edge and the guardrails no longer provide worker protection, you may need to tie off or get a different piece of equipment. Remember to use good safe ladder work practices and choose the right ladder for the job. In addition to protecting you from a fall, you must also protect objects from falling to a lower level. Any hole in the floor greater than 2 inches needs to be covered. The cover needs to be marked, secured, and able to support 2 times the intended load. Holes can also be protected through the use of guardrails. Electrocution is one of OSHA's Focus 4 hazards and is responsible for thousands of deaths and injuries each year. There are many hazards present when working on or around electricity, and as a worker in the electrical industry, you are responsible for protecting yourself and others from those hazards. The easiest way to protect from electrical hazards is to turn off the system and de-energize. If there is no power, there is no hazard. De-energization includes lockout, tagout, processes, and procedures. This means that systems are shut down, locked out, and tested to verify there is no power present. Only individuals who have been trained and authorized are allowed to lock and tag out electrical systems. In the very rare circumstances where work on energized systems is required, additional permits and processes must be followed. Approvals and signatures are required for this type of work. Extension cords are commonplace in the construction industry. However, they are often misused or are in poor condition. Extension cords must be grounded and be free from damage or defects. It is imperative that you inspect your cords before each use and store them so they don't get damaged. Notify your supervisor if you find a damaged cord and need it replaced. If an extension cord needs a new cord cap, you may be able to replace it with an approved device, but cords damaged in line must be removed from service and replaced. Avoid running extension cords on the floor to minimize damage and reduce slip and fall hazards. When possible, hang the cord up off the ground and protect it from sharp objects or edges. In addition to extension cord safety, the use of GFCIs are required during construction. This means inspecting the temporary power station for proper GFCI operation and utilizing GFCI pigtails when using building power. Overhead power lines can pose a serious risk to workers. In normal conditions, overhead power lines are protected by distance as they are typically hung high in the air. However, as we construct a building and go higher up, the power lines are no longer protected by distance. Be aware of your surroundings and make note of any power lines in your work area. Maintain a distance of at least 10 feet and check with your supervisor or the Duro Safety Department if you're performing any task that puts you within 20 feet of any power line. Proper planning and thought can help avoid any accidental contact with overhead utilities. If utilities are buried, pay attention to markings and hand dig within 18 inches of any mark. In addition to falls and electrocution, struck by and caught in or in between hazards are the other OSHA Focus 4 hazards. These topics cover a wide range of hazards on the job. Think about what you could get struck by on the job. What could you get caught in or in between? Use caution when working around mobile and heavy equipment. Be sure to wear your safety vest for visibility and make sure the equipment operator sees you before walking in front of or behind the equipment. Be aware of your surroundings and practice good housekeeping. A clean work environment will minimize the chance of objects falling and striking someone below. Good housekeeping practices are not only safe, but help you be more productive and efficient. Duro values safety and encourages our employees and temporary workers to maintain a safety-first mindset. Take all necessary steps to ensure your personal safety and the safety of those around you. Remember, you have the right and responsibility to stop work for any safety issue. It is up to you to make good choices and report any unsafe condition to your supervisor. If you have questions or concerns, bring them up to your supervisor or the Duro safety team. Thank you for your time and welcome to the team.